development that is now taking place over a year after those horrifying massacre. The architect of those attacks that happened on Israel on the 7th of October last year, the man who is said to be behind the massacre and killing of hundreds of people, has now been eliminated by the Israeli Defense Forces. The IDF, which has now killed Hamas's top leader, Yahya Sinwar, in a military operation in Gaza. After conducting DNA tests to verify and to determine if it is him, Israel has confirmed his death. The military said that there were 3 militants who were killed during their operations in Gaza, including Sinwar, as Israel had vowed to kill him since the beginning of its retaliatory campaign in Gaza. Yahya Sinwar's death is a heavy blow to Hamas, as he has been Hamas's top leader inside Gaza Strip for years and has chosen as Hamas's top leader after his predecessor Ismail Haniyeh was also assassinated in July in an apparent Israeli strike that was carried out in Iran. Now, this is being seen as a significant military and moral achievement for the defense forces of Israel, as this killing is just coming weeks after the killing of the Hezbollah chief Nasrallah in Lebanon as well. The Israeli foreign minister confirming as far as the killing of Sinwar is concerned, saying that it is a victory against the axis of evil that is led by Iran. It remains to be seen the elimination of Sinwar that would mean for the hostages, over 100 of them that are still said to be trapped and without Hamas and without the Iranian control over it. However, the experts say this is indeed a momentous event of the magnitude of killing bin Laden.
Yahya Sinwar is dead. He was killed in Rafah by the brave soldiers of the Israel Defense Forces. While this is not the end of the war in Gaza, it's the beginning of the end. To the people of Gaza, I have a simple message. This war can end tomorrow. It can end if Hamas lays down its arms and returns our hostages. Hamas is holding 101 hostages in Gaza, who are citizens of 23 countries, citizens of Israel, but citizens of many other countries. Israel is committed to doing everything in our power to bring all of them home. And Israel will guarantee the safety of all those who return our hostages. The reign of terror that the Iranian regime has imposed on its own people and on the peoples of Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, and Yemen, this too will come to an end. All those who seek a future of prosperity and peace in the Middle East should unite to build a better future. Together, we can push back the forces of darkness and create a future of light and hope for all of us.
It's as big a deal as that. He is the man, Yahya Sinwar, almost single-handedly, who planned, orchestrated the 7th of October attack on Israel. He planned for Iran and for all of Iran's long arms, meaning the proxies, Hezbollah, and the militias that Iran funds and trains in Syria and in Iraq, to join the fight and try to eliminate the state of Israel off the map. So it's a very big deal.
Well, let's get you that very moment on part of the footage that has been released on part of the Israeli military of a drone footage that is said to have shown the last moments of the Hamas leader Yahya Sinwar, as in a room which is wrecked by shelling. As you can see the close-up, and it is being highlighted, a man who is sitting on his chair, the face that is covered with a cloth to possibly hide his identification. And then the video shows a man with a wounded hand throwing a stick at the drone, which is nearing where this wrecked house is believed to be sheltering when it comes to the terrorists of Hamas. Now, the military then fired an additional shell at the building, causing it to collapse and killing Yahya Sinwar, as far as what is coming along as a statement on part of the IDF, saying that Yahya Sinwar was found with a bulletproof vest on, grenades, and over 40,000 shekels. Now, what is being also said that when it comes to the IDF, already as he had been in jail for over 2 decades, they already had his dental records in the DNA as well, which later went on to confirm as indeed when it comes to the body that has been recovered from the wreckage of that house was indeed of Yahya Sinwar.
There are 2 reasons for the people here to celebrate in Israel. One, it's a festival. And second thing is that the perpetrator of brutal barbaric attack, Yahya Sinwar, has also been killed. And it's a big sigh of relief for the people, especially for those who had been waiting for the near and dear one to come home. 250 people were taken hostage by Hamas terrorists last year. Some of them were released, some of them died in the captivity. Still 101 people are there in the captivity. And here you can see the friends of Romy Gonen. For the last 1 year, every Thursday, they come out to this place with the hope that they will be getting some kind of a good news. And today again, they are holding a picture because Yahya Sinwar was a man who was the architect of abduction, who was the architect of attack, and this has generated a kind of a hope that now the hostages will be back. Today morning, he was killed in one of the precise attack that was carried out by Israeli Defense Forces. Yahya Sinwar, along with 2 other commanders, they were eliminated. So let me talk to Romy's friends. How hopeful now you are, because Yahya Sinwar is gone, a good news has been there. So how much hopeful you are about Romy today?
I think I'm hopeful every day since the 7th of October. I know she's coming back. Doesn't matter if Sinwar is dead or not. I just want my friend back.
You want your friend back?
Yes.
So it must be very difficult and tough 1 year for you. Because last time also there was a festival, but this festival has brought a hope for you.
Yes, yes.
As far as reactions that have been coming in from the world leaders on the killing of Yahya Sinwar, let's first get you the reaction from the US President Joe Biden. He's dialed the Prime Minister of Israel, Netanyahu, right from Air Force One, and he's congratulated him on the elimination of Yahya Sinwar, as he's commended the work done by the IDF for its excellent operation. And also both leaders agreed that this seems to be an opportunity now to release when it comes to the hostages, over 101 that has been taken up by Hamas during the 7th of October attacks last year. Even when it comes to the Vice President has also issued a statement.
I call these now to congratulate him getting Sinwar. He had a lot of blood in his hands. American blood, Israeli blood, and others. And I told him that we were really pleased with his actions. And further that now's the time to move on. Move toward a ceasefire in Gaza. Ensure that we move in the direction that we're going to be in a position to make things better for the whole world. It's time for this war to end and bring these hostages home. So that's what we're ready to do. And I'm sending Tony Blinken to Israel. I guess he's going in 5 days, 4 days. 4 or 5 days, and he's going. I talked with Bibi about that. We're going to work out what is the day after now. How do we secure Gaza, move on?
Well, let's get in a word from Pradeep Datta, who's joining us from the ground there, especially when it comes to the killing, Pradeep. As far as the statement that has been issued by the IDF, their foreign minister, and including that of the Prime Minister, how has been the news received by the people of Israel?
See, it was a big day for the people of Israel, because for the last 1 year they had been waiting for such news. And finally, yesterday this news was broken by none other than Foreign Minister Israel Katz. He said that Yahya Sinwar is no more, he has been killed. You rightly said that it was with the help of the denture only the forensic experts were finally able to recognize that this man who has been killed, he is not an ordinary fighter. He is Yahya Sinwar, the man who had been responsible for a brutal attack on October 7 in which 1,600 people lost their lives. And this was one of the most barbaric and brutal attack considered to be after Holocaust, and 250 people were held hostage. People feel that this is going to pave way for the return of the hostage, because now their top leadership almost demolished and decimated by Israeli Defense Forces. So it will not be easy for the Hamas to operate. But I had been interacting with many people in the Foreign Ministry. Just 3 days back I spoke to Alex Candler, who's the spokesperson of Israeli Foreign Ministry. They said that there can be no ceasefire with Hamas, because they will not allow Hamas to once again raise their ugly head, because if there's going to be a ceasefire, it's only going to help Hamas. So they will ensure that Hamas is completely decimated. That's what actually Benjamin Netanyahu also said, that war is yet from over. They have to disarm themselves, whether it's Hezbollah, whether it's Hamas, because only then there can be peace in the region. They are saying this is not a war against the people of Palestine, or it's a war against the people of Lebanon. It's a war against the terror organization, whether it's Hezbollah or Hamas. And this man had been evading falling into the IDF trap for the last 1 year, because there were web of tunnels, and in this web of tunnel he used to hide like rats. And what actually this man used to do, had stopped using communication network. He was not using mobile, he was not using pager, neither walkie-talkie, because he thought that if any of these gadgets will be used, that will help IDF to locate his position. So finally, yesterday morning, they were able to spot 3 terrorists entering entering inside the building. One of them was injured, as you rightly said. The last moment you have shown on the television screen that he was holding a stick in his hand, obscured his face with the scarf that he was wearing over his head to just hide his identity. And he flung the stick over the drone also that was trying to capture those last moments. But finally, he was decimated, and that brought a sigh of relief on the face of family members.
Absolutely, because it opens a window of hope as far as the hostages are concerned, because the Israeli Prime Minister said that give up on arms and we'll allow you to live on the part of the exchange of hostages if the exchange does happen with the killing of Yahya Sinwar. As far as the US Vice President Kamala Harris is also concerned, she's also issued a statement calling this as an opportunity to finally end the war.
Today, Israel confirmed that Yahya Sinwar, the leader of Hamas, is dead, and justice has been served. And the United States, Israel, and the entire world are better off as a result. Sinwar was responsible for the killing of thousands of innocent people, including the victims of October 7 and hostages killed in Gaza. He had American blood on his hands. Today, I can only hope that the families of the victims of Hamas feel a sense and measure of relief. Sinwar was the mastermind of October 7, the deadliest day for the Jewish people since the Holocaust. A terrorist attack that killed 1,200 innocent people and included horrific sexual violence and more than 250 hostages taken into Gaza, including 7 Americans, living and deceased, who remain in captivity. A terrorist attack that triggered a devastating war in Gaza, a war that has led to unconscionable suffering of many innocent Palestinians.
With the reactions coming in from the world leaders, let's get you a reaction from the leaders from the country as far as the mastermind of the 7th of October attack that has now been eliminated on part of the IDF. Now, when it comes to Rajiv Chandrasekhar, he seems to be attacking the opposition, taking a dig at leaders like Pinarayi Vijayan and that of the India bloc allies, mocking those people who supported Hamas. We have Swati with us to get us the reaction, the statement on part of Rajiv Chandrasekhar.
Rajiv Chandrasekhar has hit out at the opposition, specifically at Pinarayi Vijayan, the Chief Minister of Kerala, and at Congress MP Rajmohan Unnithan. This is his post. Let me take you through that. He says, and I quote, "My deepest condolences to following CM Pinarayi Vijayan and his left buddies." In bracket here, he says he supported the terror organization Hamas. Address to Kerala youth. Many Congress MPs who supported Hamas, he's named Rajmohan Unnithan and others. Congress MP who U-turned on Hamas because he couldn't win without Muslim votes since he had done no work. And still, Mr. Khadge Sahib will rant about terror, #terror appeaser. So this is a very scathing attack on the opposition by Rajiv Chandrasekhar.
All right, Swati, thank you for that. We have Pragya joining us right now. Good morning, Pragya. With the killing of Yahya Sinwar that has now led, and not only even if we talk about Yahya Sinwar, within weeks as we are looking, even when it comes to the leadership of Hezbollah, when Nasrullah was eliminated, there were marches that were carried out here. To that aspect, we are looking at how Rajiv Chandrasekhar seems to be taking on those who indulge in appeasement politics.
Well, there's a reason for it, Amita. And remember when there was a Hamas leader who addressed the virtual gathering in Kerala, the kind of support that the Palestine is getting from Kerala leaders, be it left parties or be it Congress parties. And this is exactly the reason why Rajiv Chandrasekhar is taking on them right now. Mr. Khadge has been speaking about terrorism, and this is exactly what Mr. Rajiv Chandrasekhar is, taking Congress also on, saying that you cannot speak about terror and you cannot support Hamas for that matter, because Hamas is a terrorist organization. Unnithan, in fact, had called for elimination of Mr. Netanyahu. And in fact, Congress leaders has been drawing a parallel between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Netanyahu, saying that both want eradication of certain race. So this is also an attack on the left-wing leaders, saying that, you have been promoting radicalism. You have been having these leaders, throwing your weight behind Hamas. You are supporting Gaza also. There had been pro-Palestine rallies in Kerala organized by both the parties. And this is exactly the reason why BJP is also calling them and giving them condolences, because one of the leader of Hamas has been killed in a terrorist strike. Now everyone and in the world knows that the leader was also from a terrorist organization. He was a terrorist, and despite this, both the parties, Congress and also left, they are they're still supporting Hamas and they're still supporting Palestine. But more importantly, the BJP also is flagging that this is because there is huge Muslim population, and they need left and Congress both need support of that Muslim population to remain in power. And this is the political compulsion of both the parties to in fact support Palestine and also to support Hamas. And this is the kind of statements that had come from the leaders across the party lines, be it left or be it Congress, be it Shashi Tharoor, because BJP, I remember BJP had also taken on Mr. Shashi Tharoor and Mr. K.C. Venugopal for saying that we need to stand up for the Palestine and we need to voice our opinion against Israel's stand on occupation of Gaza, is what they had called it. So the kind of statement we had seen has been under attack, and this is exactly what Rajiv Chandrasekhar is attacking in his tweet right now.
And, Pragya, as far as the government of India's stand is concerned, when it comes to the Palestinian cause, has been clear right from day one. But there have been politicians and leaders here who have been taking on the government, even when it comes to the stand, the ongoing war in the situation. Of course, when it comes to the intervention of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he's been speaking to the leaders that directly calling for peace and end of war.
You're right, but that doesn't seem to be, being one of the concerns of the Congress. They are not looking at the peace process or the attempts by the government of India. In fact, they're criticizing government of India's stand, and they're saying that you're standing with Israel and not with the people in Gaza. Remember, Prime Minister, when he went to Israel and Palestine, he went to Palestine first and then to Israel, also sending across a message that we are standing for the human rights of the people who are living in Gaza and in fact Palestine, but we are not pro-Hamas. So there is a line that you have to draw between supporting a terrorist organization and also supporting a nation that is also protecting itself from various terrorist attacks. And India has very prominently said that 7th of August, the October attack on Israel, in fact, was a terrorist attack. We have been unequivocally
because India's stand when it comes to terrorism has been absolutely clear. However, the former Union Minister there taking a dig at political leaders from the opposition and mocking those leaders who supported Hamas and also daring them to respond on the killing of Yahya Sinwar. Thank you very much for the moment, Pragya, for joining in. You're watching Times.